Hi guys, I'm Michelle Visser. I'm the author of Sweet Maple, the creator of SoullyRested.com, and the host of the Simple Doesn't Mean Easy podcast. I hope that you join me in one of those other places as well as here on YouTube. And today we're going to dive into one of my absolute favorite DIY pantry staples. I haven't bought Italian salad dressing in many years, and let me show you why. Many years ago when I went to make pulled pork and I didn't have Italian salad dressing in the pantry, I was so flustered, but I realized I just needed to do what I could to see if I could make something similar. That's when this recipe was created. To make my pulled pork, by the way, I just had some coconut sugar and some of this Italian dressing. I'll share that recipe in the next video and I'll link it below. It's one of our family's favorites. So DIY staples are a game changer. When you realize instead of buying processed stuff with ingredients you can't pronounce, you can actually pull together things in your own pantry and make these things. There's like a whole new world out there. I don't know why it took me so many decades to discover this myself, but Italian salad dressing is absolutely one of those great things to start making yourself. Before I show you how to make it, let me talk about a couple of the ingredients because, of course, it all comes down to ingredients and your dressing is going to be as good as the ingredients that you use. Of course, I am well aware you might have stumbled across this video as you're frantically trying to figure out, can you make the dressing that you need for your meal tonight? So absolutely, you can use my recipe in whatever way you need to, in the sense that if you don't have the specific ingredients that I'm recommending, you absolutely can substitute what you do have. So don't stress about that. Start where you are and go from there. But as you work towards improving this dressing, let me tell you about these ingredients. First of all, I always use avocado oil. It is my number 2 favorite oil. First of all, I always go to Lard whenever I can. I'm a pig farmer. Lard is an extremely healthy, all-natural oil, and I will link in the description lots of resources for you if you want to know more about that. But obviously, I can't use solid fat in my salad dressing, and lard turns solid at room temperature. So avocado oil is always my second choice. I used to use canola oil, and I thought it was the healthy option. I had no idea that it is made entirely through a process that they add chemicals. They extract the oil from seeds, and in order to do that, they use hexane. Hexane is the main component of the gasoline that runs your car. I really don't want that in my salad dressing. So avocado oil is actually made completely all natural. It's oil that is pressed from the skin of the avocado, and it has a wonderful, very slightly kind of nutty, buttery taste to it. And it's just really good to use in every aspect of your kitchen, whether it's sauteing your vegetables or making your salad dressing. I will give you a slight warning when it comes to avocado oil. There are no regulations on it, so you want to make sure you're going to a reliable source. There was a recent study done, and they closely analyzed I shouldn't say that, they analyzed a lot of avocado oils, but 8 out of 10 of them were found to be impure. They were subpar or adulterated, and there's no regulation over that. So companies can do that. They can water it down, they can change what they're putting in it in the name of saving money. So definitely choose your avocado oil from a trusted source. Wherever you're sourcing your avocado oil from, you should be able to reach out to the actual distributor and ask for an analysis test, and they should be able to provide it. I get my avocado oil through Azure Standard because they are continually doing their own testing on their avocado oil to make sure it is high standards. And then annually, they are always also doing in-depth analysis as well. So I always know it's the good stuff, which is actually the same for any of the ingredients I get from Azure Standard. They have a rotation, and every single product that they offer once a year minimum is going through their analysis. They are asking a long list of questions of the producer or the farmer, and they're analyzing the product itself. They literally are sitting down at a table with the chief experience officer and the founder and the other people involved, and they're doing these things with all the products they offer, which is amazing. They're literally watchdogs for us. And yet they're also connecting us directly to the producers. So there's no middleman. It's saving so much time, and it's just so liberating to literally be getting my food directly from the source. So I can't say enough about Azure Standard, but sorry, that was a whole rampage. Let me get back to that list of ingredients. This recipe also calls for a source of sugar. There are actually so many options you could use. The ones I would recommend are, I use maple syrup. I'm a sugar maker, so we use our own maple syrup, but I do have a local sugar maker that I highly recommend to anyone who's looking for a really good source of syrup. We don't sell ours, but look at the description for a source of that. Actually, you know what? I have a complete pantry checklist that links to the best options I have found for all of the pantry staples that I have in my kitchen. It also includes things like cleaners and dog foods. So if you'd like to take advantage of the years I've put into researching all of these different products and these different ingredients to find the right sources that are high quality, organic, and also the best price I could find. On top of that, I gathered up resources, coupon codes, discount codes from as many different sources as I could that I'm recommending to help you out, because I know organic foods are not cheap. So the discount codes are listed there as well on my pantry checklist. So check out the description for how you can immediately go over and download my pantry checklist so you can have access to all of that research I've done and links to what I have found to be the absolute best products. Okay, so we use our own maple syrup, but you also could use honey. You could use, this is a fantastic option, date syrup. It is made in almost the same way as maple syrup. It's completely unrefined, 100% all natural, but it's made from, obviously, dates. Really good option. Actually makes your dressing a little bit sweeter when you compare it to maple syrup. It's very similar, but it's thicker and sweeter. So it might actually be a really great option instead of maple syrup. I've never tried date syrup. Now that I'm thinking about it, I need to try that next time in this recipe. I also use nutritional yeast. I have my bag here. But you don't have to use nutritional yeast. Actually, you don't have to use any kind of cheese product at all. It's still a very good dressing without a cheese product. But I used to use Parmesan cheese. That is so processed. I have decided years ago to totally, I don't buy Parmesan cheese anymore. You know, the grated, processed in the canister thing at the grocery store. I will use nutritional yeast instead. Anytime that I used to use that powdered cheese, I've replaced it with nutritional yeast. It's such a much healthier option, and it's an all-natural option as well. That's on my pantry checklist, and I can link it in the description. I also, at the end, I saved it to the end of this recipe. I added in some things from my garden, but I saved it to the end to make it clear that those are all optional. You don't have to add any herbs to this dressing, but I just like to, it adds a little extra flavor. So I added some oregano, and I added some parsley, which I don't have here, and I added some dehydrated pepper powder. I love using this. It smells so good. The second I open it, like the whole kitchen smells like the peppers from my garden this summer. If you want to know more about dehydrating, by the way, I have a whole totally free resource for you that I will link in the description to help you know more about how to dehydrate your food as an amazing preservation method. It's my absolute favorite. Anything else? I think that's all the ingredients. I think that's everything I had to tell you. So let me show you how to pull this amazing dressing together. Super easy. First, you'll need your avocado oil, 1.5 cups of that, and then grab some apple cider vinegar. You'll want 1/2 cup of that. Add a 1/4 cup of water, a tablespoon of maple syrup, 3 teaspoons of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Then optional, but I like to add in 2 teaspoons of nutritional yeast. And while you can mix it up, you really don't have to yet because there's one more important thing, the garlic. Our family loves garlic. Chop the ends off and remove the skin from each clove. And then the recipe calls for 4 cloves of garlic. I'm probably adding 6 or 8 because, in my opinion, I don't know, you really can't have too much garlic. And this is the part where I add a little bit of summer to my Italian dressing. And I bring my herbs out that I grew in the garden and then dehydrated, and also some pepper powder, oregano, parsley, but you can really add whatever your family would like. So that's it. I hope that was helpful. And also I will link in the description to these lids because whenever I show them, people often ask me to know more information. So I'll link to those as well. Side note, that little bit of commotion you hear in the background, it absolutely positively was not Selah. She told me so herself. And definitely go check out my free e-course on dehydrating food, and definitely download my pantry checklist, solelyrested.com/pantry. You can download it instantly and start taking advantage of all those amazing codes on those amazing ingredients that I have in my own pantry. If you try out the recipe, I would love to know what you think. I also would love to know any alternative options that you include or don't include, and how you make this dressing. Reach out to me over on Instagram or leave a comment below and keep me posted. And please hit that subscribe button. It's a tiny little thing that you do that really makes a big difference, helping us get the word out and educate people about real food and simple living here from our little New England farm in Sugarbush.